Hey guys, welcome back to Fading Margins. Well, it's a bit of a channel update. My wife and I are going travelling, and we're going to be away for a couple of months. I don't know what content I'm going to be able to bring you. I haven't even decided if I'm going to take a laptop yet. So I expect in this digital age I'll go mad if I have to use my phone the whole time. So we're going stateside. We're going to do a lot of camping. We're going to try to do a lot of camping because camping's a lot cheaper than staying in hotels. And so I've been packing and repacking, and what you just saw was me weighing my big bag. Although not everything that's in my big bag is staying in my big bag, but it gives me an idea of where I am in terms of weight. So if you want to hang about, see the sort of stuff I'm planning on bringing, and I'll try and talk you through some of my thinking, and we'll go from there. Talk to you in a minute. What's in front of you now is the project so far. The bag on the left is the bag I'm opting to use as my checked luggage. This is a Kit Monster by Snugpak. It's 120 litres, and all of a sudden it doesn't look quite big enough. Okay, so because we're camping, you always need to have something to sleep on. And this is not actually a Highlander. This is an Exped Down 7. I've had that for must be 10 years. Those are my tent pegs. You have to have something to sleep in. Oh, that's the what they call the snoggle or snoogle or something. It's basically a bag with a valve on it. Works really well. Something to sleep in. I ummed and ahed about what weight bag to take. We'll be up in the mountains. Doesn't mean it's going to be cold. In the end, I took the army approach and said, right, okay, just one heavy bag and just suck it up. So I've opted for the Snugpak Special Forces 2, which is rated to -7 comfort. But as they point out in the fine print, that -7 presupposes you're in a good tent, presupposes you've got a good mat, and presupposes that you are wearing pajamas. All, some, or none of those prerequisites may apply. Then for a tent, I've gone all ultralight. Sorry about the jiggling camera. This is a big Agnes, something Ridge or something, I don't know. Anyway, what I do know is it was bloody expensive. It seems that less is always more. You get less and you pay more. Fabrics are lighter and all the rest of it. I'm not convinced, but anyway, this will be my first foray out in a tent that has more than one pole, that isn't a teepee design, in probably going on nearly 20 years. I'm not particularly happy about it. It's a lovely tent, don't get me wrong. I just love the teepee design, but when you're out on the road day after day after day, you have to build in some contingency, and one contingency is we may be in a situation where we can't actually pitch the tent in the sense of pin it to the ground with pegs, so it has to be freestanding. So I've opted for this. I bought it originally, paid it off, because I wanted something that would allow me to do exactly that if I was cycle touring, but this tour's come up, the opportunity's come up, so we're going to go for it. So a couple of months on the road. You want to make sure that you're squared away. Then in terms of clothing, the old mother ship principle, one down jacket. This is a Mountain Equipment, I think. Again, Mountain Equipment hardware. This is a something Ghost or other they called it. It's super lightweight. It's very, very warm. I lent it to a mate of mine who went on the Camino, and he loved it so much that his family bought him something similar for Christmas. My wife refers to it as my bin bag jacket because it's so shiny. Not a fashion item, and it will tuck into its own pocket eventually. But that's on those days when you're cold and tired and you just want to be warm and you've had enough, that's what you want, one of those. Then I've got a spare bag in case I need to bring extra stuff back. No point having to go to the shops to buy one if you can carry one, and the weight is, well, if you can get it in the weight. So this is some sort of Air Force surplus Air Force cabin bag, military cabin bag. Now what I haven't got here is my smalls or my socks built in. I've opted for one mid-layer merino, 2 tidy shirts for going out in, one merino gilet. I'll be wearing 1 pair of trousers, 2 pairs of jeans, and a spare pair of trousers. So that should, and they're lightweight traveling trousers, so that should see me right. Then thick merino socks for sleeping in, and on the off chance, what I call my Stay Warm bundle, which is a merino snood, merino possum gloves, and merino possum beanie or watch cap, depending on your background. What's that? 1 pair of long johns, 2 merino singlets, and 2 long sleeve merino base layers. Then here, 1 pair of Rab walking trousers, 2 pairs of walking shorts, which will also act as just shorts, 1/2 of 2 long sleeve cotton t-shirts, a sort of technical fabric shirt because they're quite useful to stick over a base layer. They're quite useful for all sorts of things. I don't like them in the high summer. They just leave you feeling like a skinned frog. Somebody's skinned a frog and wrapped the skin on you. They're horrible. They don't clear the sweat properly. So for that purpose, I have here 3 collarless, grandad collared linen shirts, which I find linen in dry heat, or even in wet heat. If it's hot, linen I think is the way to go. Right, so that's the clothing. There's pants and socks to be thrown in there. The socks will be a merino blend, the pants will be cotton. There's a toilet bag, head shaver, beard trimmer, and that sort of thing. And we'll skip over this bit here because that's kind of praises and that sort of thing. A couple of titanium plates. I haven't denied about this. This is the Snow Peak 1400 with a bush cooker 2 and screen in there, and there's a Trangia burner, but I'm going to have to be careful. I only use I only fly with new Trangia burners, and that's for the backpack, which you can't see here, for if and when we go walking, and also for me in the morning when I don't want to hear the Jetboil substitute, the Alpkit Brula or Brew Kit or something. I bought one of those for my wife because she drinks a lot of coffee in the morning. And then here is the umming and ahhing over cook kits. Do we opt for a large titanium pot and a smaller Trangia? But the way I'm leaning at the moment will be the Trangia 25 with 1.7 litre saucepan, cutting board, and anodized aluminium fry pan. Fry pan's then big enough. You can throw a couple of small steaks in there. That'll work. This is, I think these are Ollie Camp. I got this from Steve over in Firebox Stove, and they're much kinder to your kit than some of the others. So I'll be taking those. I haven't got any implements. I'll just buy those cheap on the road. And then in terms of how it's going to run, I'm principally going to run gas. I think I'll get some denatured alcohol, but I'll get some gas, isopropane, and run the converter, and just the one of these which will ride over there in that brew kit thing there, but it's in there for the moment. Yeah, and then I've just got to decide, and maybe you can help me out, whether I need a bigger pan than this 1.7, whether I should opt for, this is a 3 litre titanium pan. It's actually got my 27 in it at the moment, but it's a 3 litre pan, takes up a lot of space. It's like a Trangia size all over again. I think the 4.5 over there in the corner in aluminium is just too big to be humping around, frankly. And the smaller one from Trangia, again, Trangia is too small to fit the saucepan in, so you have to work that one out. Maybe I'll make my wife carry the titanium one. I think I might do that. Then I got my ditty bag, and I'm going to be in the process later on today of working out what I'm going to do with that ditty bag. How I'm going to split it into two, play the game, and that's my advice if you're flying. And of course, that's the problem with flying first before we're driving. So it's like you got to make sure that everything stays underweight, that all the gubbins they don't like go in the check luggage, that sort of thing. So I'll have two ditty bags: my in-flight ditty bag, which will have my face mask and other bits and pieces, and then my real-life ditty bag, which will contain all the good stuff like super glue and various types of tape and cutting tools and grips and all sorts of bits and pieces. Right, and then I've got when I buy this. Here's a recommendation. This is handmade pine tar soap. It's not that expensive as handmade soaps go. It's handmade in Wales by a woman called Julia down in Cardiff, and I get a job lot of that every couple of months, and she's done me a job lot up, and I'll be taking that with me. And I like pine tar soap. It's slightly antiseptic. It smells nice and fresh. I use a tobacco tin to keep it in, and that keeps it dry. Then I got some supplements. These are just the replacements. The others are in the other room. Siberian ginseng, because there is from the Soviet period there's actually scientific research to show that it works. A multivitamin, and some tryptophan to help me sleep. Not that I need much help to sleep, I just don't get enough of it. Right guys, so that's where we're at the moment. There's still a few bits. Alright, what you see in front of you amongst the clouds of dust is my Osprey Talon 33. Is it a 33? Yeah, 33. 33 litre pack. I'm hoping that most of my clothes will either go in this or in another bag. If they go in another bag, I won't be taking this. I plan to take this. This is a recent purchase. This is from Mountain Warehouse. Now, I've tried Mountain Warehouse clothes, and I found that the cut was never really fitted. But I've heard some good stuff, not least from my good mate Vinny, about his boots. So I thought I wanted to try just a very small day pack, just enough with a brew kit, some water, maybe a fleece and a raincoat, something like that. And I saw this and I thought, well, I get a discount anyway, so it's worth a show. So this will probably come with me. I can't remember what they call it. I haven't even taken the label off. What do they call this? The colour is petrol. Made in China, and the Inca 18 is called. Not that means anything to me. Oh, and my hat. Of course, my hat will be going. Right. All right, guys. So there we go. A bit of an insight into the chaos of my mind in planning for a longer trip. This is the longest trip I've had to plan for in probably 26 years since I came back to the UK and left the Great South Land. Yeah. But fear not. I hope to bring you along. What you may not realize is that this channel is always filmed on my iPhone. I haven't got a camera. I haven't spent the money, and that was a sort of a conscious decision at the outset, because I felt that it was made the channel more accessible to people who, like me, who can afford the kit but they can't afford the camera, if you see what I mean. And was also there to say to people like me, you can get off your ass. You've got a camera. You can start a YouTube channel. You may not be, making tens of thousands of dollars a year, but you can start a YouTube channel. So there we go. I'm not sure when we will meet again, but in the meantime, I offer you every blessing and health and happiness. and I'll catch you on the next one. This is Steve, signing out.